Bonjour, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 110 on YouTube. And, well, guys, thank you for joining me on this little journey. We've been through all these episodes. I fully appreciate you guys. Um, Thank you for liking, subscribing, following this podcast on YouTube and Spotify. And if you haven't already, you have a chance to make a small donation if you like towards podcast. There's a link on the Spotify episode. Just click on the link and it will take you to a window and it gives you a chance to make a donation. Anything is appreciated, guys. Thank you for all your support. Want to get on here pretty quickly. I want to make some predictions for UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas, Holm versus Silva. Should be a pretty good fight card tonight in the Apex in Las Vegas. Um, so let's get started. So Holm, just a great fighter, uh, well known. Um, does well at the 135-pound division. Did well also in the 145-pound division. Um, Although I believe this fight is going to be contested at 135. And it just so happens there is actually a vacant championship at the 135 pound division for the women's. So now that Amanda Nunez has relinquished her titles at 135 and 145, chances are the 145 division will get completely eliminated until further notice. And the 135-pound division is pretty much, well, you got quite a bit of female fighters just want their little shot at the championship now that you know the goat of women's MMA fighting has now retired, pretty much for good. By the way, guys, what do you think of my Padres soccer jersey? Got at the Padres Angels game on July 5th. Padres won, and they swept the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So, anywho, um, Holly Holm, she's 15-6. You got Buena Silva, she's 10-2-1, and this one should be a pretty decent fight. I actually have a feeling that it's going to go all 5 rounds and go to decision. But I feel that Holly Holm, um, she will win by decision, beat Buena Silva tonight, and be an inch closer to reclaiming her 135-pound championship. So, who knows? Who knows? I mean, you also have other challengers like Norma Dumont, um, uh, Irene Aldana. You might even see the return of Jermaine Darami. She's coming back from having a baby boy, and before that, she was pretty much a full-time police officer in Brazil. So she has been kind of inactive from the fight scene for about 2 years now. And she did have a fight lined up with Aldana, but that fight fell through, and they had to, go with other plans. So um, we'll see what happens in the 135-pound division for the women's. I'm kind of excited who's going to start a new era in the women's division in 135. So who knows? And also, part of me is kind of hoping that Valentina Shevchenko might actually consider coming back to 135 and fight for the title. So, I don't know. It's a lot of possibilities now. Um, but yeah. Uh, so, yeah. For the fight prediction here, I'm sticking with Holly Holm defeating Buena Silva. But it should be a good fight, though. Next, we have a welterweight fight, which is the co-main event. You got Della Maddalena. He's going up against Hafez. Um, this is pretty much like a last minute fight put together because Della Maddalena, I think this is his third opponent for this fight card, and um, or just his third opponent that he's supposed to fight, but the first two had to drop out. So finally, somebody gets to fight Della Maddalena. So, um, well, Della Maddalena 14-2, and Chavez is 8-3-1. Um, the fact that this is a fighter that's kind of not well known and is a last minute replacement might provide a bit of a surprise for Della Maddalena, but I think Della Maddalena, he should be able to win this fight um, by probably by decision. Um, I mean, he should be outstriking this new guy, but we'll see. Um, so yeah, my pick is Della Maddalena. Next up, we have a lightweight fight. It is Azatar, 13-1, going up against Prado. Um, Azatar is 13-1. We got Prado, who's 11-1 as well. They are about as close in the odds as you can be. Um, this is basically a 50-50 fight, and it should be a fight that could provide fireworks. And I'm gonna have a hard time picking this one, but I would say Azatar will probably win this fight, but it's gonna be a good one. Can't wait to watch that one. Next up, we have a middleweight fight between the 16-4 Duraev going up against the 16-5 Park. Um, this one should be pretty good. Gives a chance for one of the guys to kind of build on their rise in the middleweight rankings, and this one I have a feeling might go all 15 minutes. But I am picking Duraev to beat Park in this one. Next we have women's featherweight fight. We got Dumont, who's 9-2, going up against the 5-1 Chandler. I think Dumont is going to win this one. I'm actually a fan of Dumont. I think she was actually pretty close. I mean, she wasn't better than Nunez, but I felt that Dumont actually was able to kind of hang for like 5 rounds with Nunez. So yeah, I am picking Dumont to win this one, but looking at the odds, it's actually a lot closer than I thought. So maybe Chandler might provide a big surprise for Dumont, but I feel that Dumont might actually pull out the victory in this one. It actually might be a decision. So expect 15 minutes in this fight. Next we have the opener of the main card. It's a lightweight fight between Sadikov, who's 8-1, going up against Terrence McKinney, 13-5. This one should be an interesting one. I feel that Sadikov might actually beat McKinney in this one. I mean, McKinney is very vocal on Twitter. I've seen some great fights coming from McKinney, but I have a feeling that Sadikov is going to end up with the decision in this one. So that should be a fun fight to start off the main card. So it's a pretty decent main card, actually, guys. Next, we have the prelims. So our feature prelim, we have the 7-2 Baghdad Sauron He's going against a 12-3 Lutz. Um, hmm, this might be in the striking department for both guys, but I'm looking at this and Lutz actually might take this to the ground. So we're going to see what happens in both aspects of the fight here. But I'm picking Lutz to win this one. So Lutz might actually surprise Bagda Saran in this one. So, but I would not expect anything less than fireworks in this one. So next we have a women's strawweight fight. We have Nunez, 6-4. She's going up against the undefeated 6-0 Duda Kova. Honestly, this one should be a good fight, but I am picking Duda Kova to win this one. Next, we have a featherweight fight. We have Lingo, 9-2, going against the 19-6 Costa. Honestly, I think Costa might win this one, so should be a good fight. Should be interesting how this fight's going to develop. Next, we have a lightweight fight between 7-2 Elder and the 10-2 Valdez. I'm picking Elder to win this one. But Valdez might have a shot here. He actually might be throwing in some ground game to kind of throw things off and not keep it standing. So we'll see. But I'm still picking Elder to win this one. Next, we have a flyweight fight between Tyson Nam going against the undefeated Maxim. This should be an interesting flyweight fight. Tyson Nam, I believe he's Vietnamese. Good fighter. I actually did see him at the UFC San Diego, I believe last August, at the Sports Arena, also known as Pachenga Arena. He beat O'Day Osborne, I believe. Big upset in my mind. But I think ever since, I don't think Tyson Na has replicated that success from that fight and has lost maybe one or two fights since then. So, and Maxim is actually the favorite in this one, so I'm picking Maxim to win. So I'm kind of curious how Maxim's going to be in the near future, like the next 2 years. Like if he's going to climb up and break into the top 10. So we'll see. But yeah, Maxim should beat Tyson now. Next, we have a lightweight fight between the 6-2 Munoz and the 17-6 Diatin. Part of me is probably gonna go with Munoz in this one. It's gonna be pretty much a mixture of striking and the ground game and takedown. So I believe that Munoz might have a good shot of winning, and I'm picking Munoz to win anyway. So, and then we have the opener of the entire UFC Vegas Fight Night card. We got the 6-5 Evan Smith going up against the 7-2 Perez in the bantamweight division of the women's bantamweight division. Yeah, I think Perez has a good shot. I think she's going to beat Evan Smith in this one. So those are my fight picks, guys. It should be a fun card. And I probably won't be able to watch all of it, but I'll probably will get a chance to watch whatever fights I can watch tonight on replay, on demand, on ESPN Plus. Great app, by the way. And honestly, I'm going to a comedy show tonight in Escondido. It's going to be at the Good Omen Med. It's under the banner of the Escondido Underground Comedy. So I believe Bronston Jones is going to be the one hosting tonight's comedy show, and the headliner is Erica Rhodes. So I am familiar with Ryan Archuleta. He's on the lineup, so it should be a fun night of comedy tonight. Um, I did go to a comedy show last night. It was it was really fun. It was at the Duckfoot Brewery in Miramar, hosted by Alex Petite, and um, the I believe the opener was Nick Flair. Great guy, funny guy. Um, he got some great jokes. Crowd loved his set. Um, now, I want to start off by saying that because the show was set up in the parking lot right in front of the Duckfoot Brewery, um, you're not going to have that bounce back of the noise of laughter now that you're in an open space. So, but you know when you're in the crowd, like you know like how much of the laughs are there, because like if you're in an enclosed room with a comic and fans and audience, um, it does have that kind of bounce back to the room, so that make it sound a lot louder than it is. So, but yeah, I felt that Nick Flair's performance last night, I felt like the crowd was, they loved it, and they got laughs in parts of the crowd. So I would say, an 8.2 for Nick Flair. I believe the next person that came up was Ali Majej Al Hamimi. Oh, I'll just call him Ali. Um, Great guy from Detroit. Um, I do remember the fact that he always kind of starts off by saying that he always grew up in the streets, and everybody's thinking, the streets of over in the Middle East, but he actually grew up in the streets of Detroit. So yeah, um, that got a good laugh because how he set it up. So I like how he does that, and he has some other good stuff too. And I like that he has some new stuff. And I don't know if he's been working on that pretty recently, but it's kind of refreshing to hear some new jokes. I think it's like my third time ever seeing Ali, so third or fourth time. But I see him a lot with his puppy, Tigress. So, um, but I felt that Ali was about an 8.3 for his comedy. Um, Alex Petit. So he did actually host the show actually. So when he started off, he gets to pretty much do his set, and well, you established there is a euthanasia specialist in the crowd. Her name is Lonnie. So that was kind of a nice focal point, establishing that this lady does euthanize a bunch of pets. She even did a parrot or a parakeet. But she does specialize in euthanizing dogs. But it's just maybe not just to that extent. Maybe there's like other pets like iguanas, lizards, apparently. But I liked Alex's interaction with Lonnie and how she responded, and then had to clarify on stage, you know, that this is your dog killer, and then how every pet owner in the crowd is holding their dog pretty closely now. So but um, that was kind of cool. I like that kind of I guess you could say banter. Um, but yeah, Alex, I would say his comedy was about an 8.2 out of 10. So you know, I'm glad that I get to go to these shows. I've been to his Abnormal Height show, and then um, I liked his Duckfoot show. So I believe the next person that came up was a drop in is Joe Grillo. Um, it's interesting. I never actually seen the guy smile at his shows that I've seen. Um, but I think from the stuff that he was on talking about on stage, um, I would say he got a lot of laughs for his jokes. Um, and I guess I heard that he's going to Austin, so there's a big comedy scene building out in Austin, Texas. So uh, best of luck to Joe Grillo. I felt that his comedy was about 8.25. That's what I was thinking of when I was in the crowd last night. Um, and then you have my first time seeing this girl, Nicole Buchanan. Buchanan. She's on Comedy Central. Does a lot of great work. You'll probably see her quite a bit around, and her set was pretty funny. Um, I thought that maybe her set uh, was an 8.4 out of 10. Um, she did get to talk about having plastic surgery, bigger boobs. Um, Apparently, a guy had said that he would wanted bigger boobs too, and then like when she looked at him, like I think you're already starting to have it, because the guy was kind of big. Um, yeah, so I thought she was an 8.4 out of 10. Pretty funny. I talked to her after the show. There was an appearance by the one and only Kyle Wang, the 12-year-old sensation on the comedy scene. Um, the kid's pretty funny. I guess probably see big things for him going forward, and Alex is a great mentor to him. So um, he did get to talk about the submarine thing, and everybody was like, "Oh boy." Uh, you made the association about the Marvel Universe and the submarine and money, so I couldn't stop laughing at that point because, like, you know, you have a whole bunch of rich people on a submarine trying to view the Titanic, and they ended up dying. But like, it's like so well known now, and it's just you can't help but laugh at that kind of kind of irony to it. So yeah, Kyle was about I would say 8.35. Yeah. Um, So yeah, he got going. I actually felt that it started off a little bit slow with the setup, and I thought there was something going on with the mic because I did hear, I guess what they say, the mic was popping. So, but Kyle was able to kind of just get through it and got some good laughs from the crowd, and we're pretty impressed by his performance. I am anyway. Um, and then you have your headliner, Jackson Banks. Second time seeing the guy, and he made a lot of references to the pyramid out that's very obvious out in Miramar Road. Um, Talks about being horny, um, and then he also talked about um, you know making references to Alex being a you know um, either being a pervert or being a pedophile, and then that just got a lot of laughs because the fact that Alex was mentoring a 12-year-old. Um, so yeah, and then how uh, the fact that he needed Alex needed a female on the show. So like Jackson made a lot of connecting points to a lot of aspects of the comedy show, not necessarily during his own set, but like just what he's able to work with and paying attention to the entire comedy show, and then picking points from other people's sets and then kind of incorporate it into his own, which is pretty great because I like the fact that when comics don't just simply just do their own comedy set, they actually adapt while they're up there, and they actually incorporate the stuff around them, people, the environment, and just work it into their comedy act so seamlessly. So I like that from comedians. especially when it's done in a good way too. Not when you start talking bad about an establishment by like maybe one or two comics I've seen, but the way that Jackson Banks kind of did it, it just got a lot of laughs, and I enjoyed his set. I would say his set was an 8.8 out of 10, and I can't wait to see the guy again. So, anywho, I also get some good food. Maurice Shuffam Mariscos was the food truck on site. I ended up asking about, if I could able to do like the carne asada and the shrimp together on French fries. So basically, that was a surf and turf, and I guess that's a secret menu item I just created for the food truck apparently, and they were able to do that. So half shrimp, half carne asada over the French fries, and it had arugula in it and some cheese and some other stuff that makes it a pretty good entree for their food truck. I enjoyed it. I ate all of it, and I did have something to say about their French fries. It wasn't like maybe like the McDonald's quality French fries, but definitely better than In and Out fries. But the French fries did kind of leave something more to desire about it. So yeah, so this surf and turf fries wasn't the best I've ever had. I think the best I've ever had so far might have been the surf and turf fries at the taco stand. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find something better, like maybe at JV's. I think JV's does have surf and turf fries, so maybe that might be better than everybody else's. I do like JV's, by the way, in Linda Vista, um, near the sports arena or near USD, the college campus. So, um, but yeah, I would say the Corneas, the surf and turf fries, secret menu item from Chefum Moriscos, I would say is about an 8.6 out of 10. Well, guys, that's it for me. I'm gonna be watching some UFC fights later. Padres are playing a doubleheader against the Phillies today. They beat the Phillies last night 8-3, but they lost the first game of the doubleheader this morning 6-4. Their next game, I believe, for the doubleheader is at 4:05 today. Um, so hopefully the Padres can get back on the winning track and get close to 500 and make that push for the playoffs. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later about food, comedy, and sports. Enjoy your weekend, guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Tiggy Maximus signing off. Booyaka.